So they're coming up on the ATP Tour on Eurosport in February. Dubai, Rotterdam, Marseille and London indoors. In April, Estoril and Barcelona. And the clay Düsseldorf World Team Cup heads the cast in May towards the real start, the second Grand Slam at Roland Garros.
One just wonders how many of those, particularly the clay court tournaments from Estoril onwards, it's all clay. How many of those Sampras might play in order to give himself the shot, of course, at the one major that he hasn't won.
For Agassi, of course, he's won all 4 of the majors. Agassi about to serve, 2-3, fourth set. It's in.
It's a shot of genius. We've seen 2 lobs in this match from Sampras that are typically of Agassi. It just shows his variety. There's power, but there's also a lot of thought and feel.
It's the first point that Agassi's lost at the net in the last 2 sets. Only came in 6 times in the third set, but won every point. But again, up against it right here on serve.
Thank you.
Oh. The scare tactic from Sampras.
Well, it's so pure, isn't it? The space is there, but so many of us just crumble a little bit when we try and hit into that space, but not Agassi. It's like an arrow to the target. How does Sampras play this one?
It's in.
Well, it seems that he who dares wins.
He's 15-40 down in his last service game and survived. Facing break point again. Interesting that time round. Steffi here, her lips were sealed on the break point.
Sampras had a counter, I think, fair amount of wind, it seemed, in that point early on there. The ball just moved about, bobbled.
It's just long. I think there's been so many close calls that they're all questionable now when they're that close. Well, I think the ovation is so huge because everybody's emotions are being tangled with here. Just when you think somebody's in the ascendancy, the other one comes back and then it switches round, and of course all the ingredients of what makes a great match.
Thank you.
3-all, fourth set.
15 love.
And these stats that they've been putting up are all pretty representative, apart from the fact that Agassi's second serve is still winning an extraordinary amount of points on the second serve. It's keeping him alive.
From the moment he took his racket back, he knew he was going to make it.
Well, it's just a marvel, isn't it? The big arch. It's like going to St. Louis.
Seen that so many times. So intent is Agassi to keep the returns low at the feet of this man. Oh, he pushed it.
Just hit it a little flat. The inclination sometimes is just that on the forehand. Backhands players tend to slice and therefore impart a bit more control a lot better on.
Oh, is that a great volley? 30-all, love 30. Sorry, 3-all, love 30, of course.
That's astonishing. Reminiscent of many of the great Australian volleyers.
Great determination from Agassi, more so than visible there. 4-3, Pete Sampras in the fourth set. More to come after this.
We know advanced technology doesn't have to be complicated, that every product must be meaningful. And the end result will make you smile. Open up to Samsung Digital. Samsung Digital. Everyone's invited.
So, da ist es. Und da war ja noch eins. Und hier, Glückwunsch, Strillinge.
Aber da brauchen wir jetzt ein Haus.
Ich empfehle in diesem Fall Immobilien Scout 24.
Neu, Immobilien Scout 24. Sucht ihr neues Zuhause. Kostenlos. Zur Miete und zum Kauf. Rund um die Uhr unter 0180 5 3 die 7 3 die 4. Oder im Internet. Immobilien Scout 24. Sucht ihr neues Zuhause kostenlos.
First serve, first point, eighth game.
Such an unusual backhand that by Sampras, but what he did so well there was show Agassi the butt of the racket. Once you point the butt of the racket in the play and then you have swing through the ball, you have the most complete of swings. So if the timing is right, you're going to hit it very hard indeed.
Seventh ace.
It's clever because the back bending exercise was done, and you'd assume the kick serve was following. Well, he kicked it, but he kicked it to the forehand.
Four straight points from Love 15. No sign of wilting.
He's lost as many points on his serve in this set, Agassi, as he'd done in any other set, bar the tie-break set, of course. Oh, no, even then, I think it was only 7. So the headaches are there, but he's holding on. That's the essential thing.
Screaming out his support. He's just fidgeting there. He's urging him on.
He picked it pretty well. Couldn't just quite get the timing. You could see it was just hit with the arms alone. There was no body behind it. Therefore, a lot slower.
From that camera angle, you can see why, if you don't move early, you have no chance.
Well, he was taught by Pete Fisher, his first coach, who would call the direction of the serve just at the very last minute. And Sampras had to react to Pete Fisher's call. When he started, of course, Sampras was a two-hander on both sides. And Fisher always said of him that he had just the most amazing coordination and skills. Fisher felt that Sampras could have played any sport to a very, very high level, any ball sport.
30th ace. 7.5 games worth. It's just too good. Sampras Agassi, when we come back from a break, is going to have to hold serve to stay in the Australian Open. It's Sampras, 5-4.
Sunshine football on Eurosport. The African Nations Cup is one of the biggest tournaments in the world, with some of the most brilliant players in the world strutting their stuff in the arenas of Ghana and Nigeria. And Eurosport is right there, live, as 16 nations go shooting for glory. The African Nations Cup, South Africa against the Democratic Republic of Congo, Thursday at 19:30 CET, live on Eurosport.
Welcome back. Everybody deep in thought and animated as to what is going to happen next. Will Sampras Agassi play a good game here and stay in the match? And can he, more to the point? We've had a wonderful evening so far, haven't we all? Serving to stay in the match, 4-5, fourth set.
It's always risky taking the shortest route. The one down the line, you're going over the high part of the net, but if you've got the skills that Agassi's got here, you can really make an opponent move. But what encourages me about those 2 points is that the Agassi muscle seems to be growing in strength.
Thank you.
That was what was perhaps a little ominous about the previous point. Sampras playing a very relaxed because he was down 40 love, but the backhand got into a little bit of a groove. And she'll know all about groove backhands. Such an underrated slice that Graf had.
All the questions answered emphatically by the #1 player in the world. 5-all, fourth set.
That's 4 successive aces, 3 in the last game, at the end of the last game. And of course many would point to the fact that he's scored 32 to Agassi's 9, and therefore Agassi's skills apart from the serve must be that greater, and that Sampras's game is therefore nigh boring. I don't see it that way.
Game Sampras.
33rd ace. He's already on 6 games in this set. If you've got the memory of the tiebreak in the 3rd set, he'll sit down quite relaxed. And Andre Agassi will have to come out to stay in the Australian Open. I suppose it must go through his mind, Frood, that if he does, he's got to face a tiebreak, where in the last set he didn't get 1 point.
Paul Annacone had that to say about Agassi toweling off and taking his shirt off, that every time he did it, it was like the Benny Hill show. I don't think he meant it unkindly. But it's his quick actions, I suppose, and the fact that the crowd, of course, always erupts and responds to it, reacts to it, as they did to Benny Hill. But he's come out so well, Chris, partly to answer your point. He's looked even stronger in the last few games than he did earlier, Agassi. So I think he's up to the task.
So has to do it again. Hold serve to stay in this semi-final. 5-6, fourth set. Yeah, overall from Rudy Berger. Called long. Agassi won't like this at this stage.
He doesn't know.
Clearly long. Clearly long. Service clearly long. Service clearly long. The service clearly long, like this long.
You're saying it was behind Cyclops?
No, not behind side. The service clearly long. I don't know why they didn't do it. It's clearly long.
So you overruled the machine right there?
It was clearly long.
It's a fair point. He raises.
Yes, he's a pretty good debater.
I'm so pleased Andre Agassi won that point. For me, that serve looked good. It's certainly not clear enough long to overrule Cyclops. Incredible.
Well, such phenomenal offensive skills and such terrific defensive. He must have wrenched his stomach muscles so many times in that point, Agassi. Stretching to one side, darting to the other. Sampras' backhand beginning to flow again. It's amazing how it has its fits and starts.
What a fantastic point, starting off with such a clever serve. Emphatic game again, 6-all. Who knows what's going to happen in this tie-break?
Well, Sampras now 6-4 in tiebreakers. And this is the 78th set.
I think everybody wants a fifth set. It's a better start.
Well, he really threw the kitchen sink at this, and you might well have thought, I think as Sampras did, that it was going to go down the line. But amazing, I think even if Sampras had covered, Agassi would have won the point. He hit it so well.
Agassi knows how important every point is, and he's just got to do his best on every one. Other players he would have given up maybe a shot ago.
They are giving their all. If it goes to a fifth, it'll go down as one of the epics.
Oh. I mentioned desire as one of the qualities in matches like this. Doesn't get any better than this. Oh, he was there. Just missed it.
Quite amazingly, Sampras, who's prone to double faulting, sometimes 2 in a row, has not hit a double fault in this set at all, with such big second serves.
Say big. That was huge. 193 Ks on a second serve, 2 all in the tie-break.
Please. It is so belittling for us mere mortals.
Got a feeling that hit umpire's chair. Rudy Berger.
Change of ends with the roof open, of course. And the weather's clear.
Memories of that great tie-break, Borg McEnroe in the 4th set. Come flooding back. Oh, that's not possible.
Well.
Well, if that doesn't break Agassi's heart, I don't know what will. Well,
this is where not only desire but conditioning becomes so important, and Agassi was able to give this shot his all, which you can't do if you're breathing heavily.
words just don't suffice anymore. Set point to level the match.
And he deserves it, I think.
Thank you.
Oh! Well, if tears aren't shed at the end of this match, I'll be amazed. The emotions out here are difficult to describe. Unbelievable tennis and an incredible match. With that winning forehand, Andre Agassi has come back into this semi-final. And after that forehand pass, the back end towards the end of that fourth set tiebreak, you would have just expected any normal person to have capitulated into losing the next 3 or 4 points. Not this man in picture here. He is desperate to win this match. And what a match it is.
Well, it's astonishing. And in the tiebreaker, when, as you say, it could be so easy for him to have come second and to have lost, and one would still have credited him. But the fact that he held up so strong against such adversity, really, with Sampras clocking those aces, serving so well, 17 aces in the set, it dwarfs Agassi's 4. And yet Agassi's strength of spirit, strength of body, strength of mind was far from dwarfed. He stood out like a giant, and I think really he deserves now to go on to win the match.
The way in between first and second serves, he looked at Brad Gilbert as if to say, come on, this is my chance. Second serve. And look at the delight when he took it. Well, really, it had to be a fitting end. It had to go to the wire. And that's exactly what these two great champions have done. It's a one-set match. Andre Agassi will start the 5th and final set.
And the only other 5-setter they played was won by Sampras at Wimbledon in '93 in the quarterfinals, after he'd had a 2-sets-to-love lead, and he won it 6-4 in the 5th.
It's just no let-up at all.
Difficult shot for Agassi to counter there, because it's not a shot you can anticipate. Yet he did so well. Agassi's 5-set record is not inspirational. He's won 17, lost 16. Sampras has won 28 and lost but 10. But I think in many ways we can ignore that, because I think this is Agassi who's taken his physique, his pitch, to a higher level.
Somewhere through, when the tide is changing, you just feel it's going to gather enough momentum to see one of them home.
Well, looking at them there, I know there's a different psychology when the player is serving. There's that much more determination, even when everything's equal, to win the game, and therefore games tend to be won. But it just seemed to me that Agassi had that little bit of extra tone in his movement. Sampras on 2 points looked just a little sluggish.
Oh.
They can't lose, can they?
Maybe that tide starting to come in for Agassi.
Well, he's so vigorous at the moment, Agassi, that Sampras is going to have to swing down his aces.
He's made it. On the line, on the first break point. 2-love, Andre Agassi, 5th set.
And I think it's the finest run of tennis ever played by Agassi against Sampras, because Sampras has been playing some syrupy, sweet tennis himself.
Clammy hands all round. Oh. Thoughts now. It is so vital to Pete Sampras. The run of the last 10-15 minutes or so.
I agree, it would be fascinating to know Sampras's thoughts, but I'm sure he's pretty honest, and he'll acknowledge the fact that Agassi has just lifted himself unbelievably.
He's just starting to take umbrance with a fan. It's just become a little bit too loud for his liking. Well, the tide is fairly crashing in. Brad Gilbert affording himself the luxury of a rare smile. The first time maybe in the match that he feels good about his man's hopes. He's 3-love in the final set.
Sunshine football on Eurosport. The African Nations Cup is one of the biggest tournaments in the world, with some of the most brilliant players in the world strutting their stuff in the arenas of Ghana and Nigeria. And Eurosport is right there, live, as 16 nations go shooting for glory. The African Nations Cup, South Africa against the Democratic Republic of Congo, Thursday at 19:30 CET, live on Eurosport.
What a difference, the two men running back to the chair. Well, one of them only running. Sampras, the long, slow walk, and maybe finally through his resolve, starting to break.
Well, I think it would be perhaps even more extraordinary now with Sampras to win this match, because Agassi is just playing, well, as great as I've ever seen Agassi play. I didn't actually believe that he could play this well against Sampras. But he's looking so strong, and of course it boils down to desire. Maybe Sampras with 13 majors has just won a few too many and beaten Agassi a few too many times.
Love 3, fifth set.
15 love.
Two and 3/4 hours they've been battling.
Game set.
And a love game to stop the rot.
It's his 8th love service game. It's the 5 for Agassi. Agassi insists on receiving the ball from the back of the court with his back to the net. That's why he'll retrieve a lot of them if they hit the net and rebound. He doesn't want the ball kids out of place.
15 love.
Just looks like something's been sapped from Sampras. That's surprising.
Well, he's got to turn it on quickly, and no better way than allied to the serve, the backhand helping Sampras out.
Seems hard to believe that 10 or 15 minutes ago, Agassi was 2 points from defeat here. 5-4 down in the 4th set tiebreak. That scoreline of 4-1 now in the 5th set. Can this man come back from this? I think everybody here would be astonished if he did.
I think there are probably still many who figure that he definitely will. But I really have my doubts. There's just no sign of relenting at all from Agassi. And I think in many ways, should he win this match, it'll almost be his finest achievement, because Sampras slaughtered him in 3 big finals last year, LA, Cincinnati, well, 4, Wimbledon and the ATP finals. He made mincemeat of him. And Sampras in a winning position here at 2-1. It almost looked as if the writing were on the wall again, and yet.
1-4, fifth set. Almost looked tired, allied to the mental thoughts perhaps.
Well, a virtual match point coming up. Take a quick slug. I'm surprised it's only water that Gilbert's taking.
Brad Gilbert was just saying the match is right here to Steffi Graf, who can barely watch now. Double break point for a 5-1 lead for Andre Agassi. Made it. It's a tidal wave now. Broke the back of Sampras in that 4th set tiebreak, especially having lost all 7 points in the 3rd set tiebreak. And now stands from just 1 game and securing a place in another Grand Slam final. Serving for the match at 5-1, 5th set.
That's the first double by either player since the 3rd set.
What a time to serve your 11th ace.
Sampras's temper at the moment is comparatively sedate.
Thank you.
Just rushing a little bit maybe. Break point for Sampras.
Thank you.
Agassi exerting himself. I think just a little hiccup, that sort of situation where the food's so good you get stuck into it and take too much.
So, after about 2 hours, 48, 49 minutes, Andre Agassi stands at match point. He's done it. He's through. Steffi is delighted. What a match. And maybe fitting that on a day that tennis fans around the world will mourn the death of Donald Budge, the first ever Grand Slam champion, that these two great champions have put on what quite frankly has been a great match.
Well, stunning tennis, and so thoroughly deserved. And what a year it's been. If you think it goes back to the French where he won, he was in the final of Wimbledon, he won the US Open, and here another major, he's through to the final. Prime condition, intense desire, phenomenal play. Just a pity perhaps that it petered out.
So quite an incredible match, and I'm sure everybody will feel very tired in about an hour's time when they've come down from this, no more than the two players, of course. But Agassi is through, 6-1 in the fifth and final set of an epic match. Plays the winner of Kafelnikov or Norman. That match will be played tomorrow. Andre Agassi leaves centre stage, but he'll be back in the final on Sunday. Commiserations for Pete Sampras. Another slam goes by without breaking the record of the American Roy Emerson, tied equal on 12 slams each. Well, that concludes the live tennis. We hope you've thoroughly enjoyed that match. I'm sure you have. The next match coming up will be a ladies' semi-final. Jennifer Capriati against Lindsay Davenport. Chris Bowers and Sam Smith, your hosts for that one. As we just see some action replays of the memorable moments from a memorable match. How Andre Agassi found the courage to come back from 5-4 down in that fourth set tiebreak. Maybe we'll never know. One of the all-time great matches. And who would have thought that it was Pete Sampras whose resolve would have been broken in a match like this. My thanks to Fru McMillan. I said at the beginning of the match it was a privilege to be here, even more of a privilege to try and add words to two players of such extraordinary ability. Next match, more action from the Australian Open 2000 semi-final. Jennifer Capriati bidding to try to displace the three-time semi-finalist in a row here, Lindsay Davenport, the number 2 seed from the United States, an All-American semi-final, of course. Chris Bowers and Sam Smith will be with you from Fru McMillan and me, Chris Bradnam. It's bye for now.